I'm Rick, and I want to talk about making a rubber breakaway for a spear gun. If you hit a big fish that's going to take off and have a bit of a fight, you want your spear attached directly to the float. But if your float's attached to the spear gun, when the fish takes off, you're going to be empty-handed. Your gun will go with the rig. This is not too bad a thing, a lot of the time. But if there are a lot of sharks around, you really want to have something you can poke them away with. So it's nice to have the rig that breaks away from your spear gun. Hence the name breakaway. There are a variety of ways you can set up a breakaway, but I like the one that was made popular by Rife. You can make it from rubber, old spear gun rubber in fact. You have to have a hole in the stock, which is the same diameter as the rubber. Maybe just a smidge smaller, but not much. I usually cut the length the same length as my hand span. Then I've got to grind some tapers. I use a nail to make the rubber more rigid and take off unwanted rubber using a grinding wheel. I have an abrupt taper at one end and a long, slow taper at the other. I use 3/16 Spectra cord. The cord isn't a stressed part, so something lighter or weaker would work probably just as well. I'll shove the cord up the guts of the rubber, just like putting a bridle on a rubber. At the shooting line end, I want a loop. I tied a bowline in the Spectra. At the other end, I did a stopper knot to shove up into the middle of the rubber. The stopper knot was a figure of 8. And this is what I ended up with. Sealing all the ends with flame, of course. At the other end, I had a pull rope, which had stopper knots on either end. I lashed them with a strangle knot, the same way you do with a normal spear gun rubber. If you don't want to, you don't have to use a loop of cord. You can go fancy and use a stainless ring. It looks flasher, probably doesn't work any better, but it looks flasher. So, how does it function? You put the taper end into the hole and use a string to pull it through where it jams. The shooting line and the float cord are clipped onto the breakaway, and this all stays that way till you shoot the gun, the spear lodges in the fish, and it pulls away hard. The shooting line pulls on the rubber and it breaks away. The spear's in the fish, it's attached to the float, and you've got a gun to poke away sharks should have been needed.